thought we could finally catch our breath after the gut-wrenching finale of 1923, the Yellowstone universe refuses to let go, and honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. The next gripping installment, 1944, has officially been confirmed, and it's already sending shockwaves through the fandom. This isn't just another chapter, it's a bold continuation of the Dutton saga, where the stakes are higher, the emotions deeper, and the family legacy more fragile than ever. Set against the backdrop of a world on the cusp of war, 1944 is poised to plunge us back into the unforgiving frontier where loyalty is tested, bloodlines are everything, and survival comes at a steep price. Expect the return of familiar faces from 1923, now older, shaped by loss, love, and the relentless march of time. These aren't the same characters we left behind. They're more weathered, more dangerous, and carrying burdens that threaten to consume them. But here's the twist. If you thought 1923 tore at your heart, 1944 is coming for your soul. The decisions that must be made, the bonds that will be broken, and the sacrifices demanded by both land and legacy promise to leave scars that stretch across generations. This isn't just storytelling, it's a full-throttle emotional reckoning. So brace yourself, because the next generation of Duttons isn't just stepping into the fire, they're being forged by it. And once this chapter begins, there's no turning back. Let's talk about the moment that left fans reeling, the heart-shattering ending of 1923. If you felt stunned, broken, or just sat in silence as the credits rolled, you weren't alone. That finale wasn't just emotional. It was a gut punch that knocked the wind out of the Yellowstone universe. In one brutal hour, we witnessed the unimaginable, the tragic fall of two of the Dutton family's brightest hopes, Jack and Alexandra Dutton. Jack, the fierce, loyal heir, groomed to carry the family name with grit and pride, met a brutal and senseless end. Shot down by Clyde in a moment of raw, unfiltered violence. His death wasn't just shocking, it felt like history being rewritten with blood. His absence now leaves a void in the Dutton lineage that no one is prepared to fill. And if that wasn't enough to leave us reeling, Alexandra's death was even more chilling, more haunting. After enduring the hardship of childbirth in the unforgiving frontier, she succumbed to frostbite and necrosis in a slow, agonizing decline. A woman who once lit up the screen with her spirit, her strength, her unwavering love for Jack gone in the most merciless way. Not in battle, not in glory, but in silence and suffering. These weren't just characters. They were the beating heart of a generation, the promise of a future that now lies shattered. Their loss didn't simply close a chapter, it tore entire pages from the Dutton family book. With them, the dream of healing old wounds, of building something stronger, something more united, died. And in their place, only pain remains. The Dutton legacy didn't just bleed in that moment. It bled out. And yes, Jacob and Kara Dutton remain. But even as they stand, you can see the wear, the weight of decades spent fighting to keep the family alive. They are warriors in every sense, unbreakable, stoic, devoted to the end. But the end, it seems, is near for them. Their final moments in the series were heavy with a quiet goodbye. A farewell to the land they fought for, the family they tried to save, and a future they no longer have the strength to protect. It's heartbreaking to watch them fade, not because they failed, but because they gave everything they had, and now there's nothing left to give. So now, we're left asking, who rises from the ruins? Who carries the torch through the smoke and fire of what remains? Because 1923 didn't just remind us how fragile the Dutton legacy is, it showed us that even in the fiercest bloodline, nothing is guaranteed. But if there's one thing history has proven, it's this: the Duttons don't vanish quietly. They rebuild. They fight. And they survive. Even if it costs them everything. So, no Jacob, Alexandra, Jack, or Kara in the upcoming prequel, that's certain. Now let's dive into one of the most enigmatic, emotionally layered, and potentially game-changing characters in the entire Dutton saga, Spencer Dutton. Unlike the tragic and final fates of Jack and Alexandra, Spencer's journey remains open, unresolved, and bursting with possibility. Thanks to Elsa Dutton's haunting yet poignant narration in the final moments of 1923, we know one thing for certain: Spencer survives for at least another 45 years. That fact alone casts a long, compelling shadow over the future of the Duttons, and the upcoming series, 1944, is where his story might finally rise to its full, heart-wrenching potential. Let that sink in. Spencer Dutton, veteran of war, man of principle, a soul bruised by trauma yet still burning with purpose, enters 1944 in his mid to late 50s. Time has weathered him, no doubt, but time has also forged him into something greater. We may be on the verge of witnessing Spencer not just surviving, but becoming the man he was always destined to be. With Jacob and Cara Dutton most likely having passed on by now, the responsibility for the Yellowstone Ranch and all the blood, legacy, and weight it carries may now fall squarely on Spencer's shoulders. He didn't ask for this role, but fate doesn't wait for permission. And if there's anyone in the Dutton bloodline capable of carrying the ranch into a new age, it's him. Imagine the grit of an older Spencer, seasoned by war, tempered by loss, haunted by the past, but stronger than ever. A man hardened by history, but still holding on to hope. He's not just a cowboy, he's a soldier, a survivor, and perhaps now, the reluctant patriarch of a dynasty teetering on the edge of collapse and rebirth. Whispers are already circulating that Spencer will be the emotional core of 1944, and frankly, there's no better choice. His arc was always deeper than just revenge or romance, it was about redemption. And this next chapter might be his most powerful yet. And speaking of exciting possibilities, how about this one? Kurt Russell. Yes, the Kurt Russell is still heavily rumored to be joining the Yellowstone universe in a major role, and all signs point to him portraying the older version of Spencer Dutton. It's a casting move that would be nothing short of iconic. Russell has that rugged gravitas, that quiet authority, that weathered warmth that fits Spencer like a glove. Brandon Sklenar gave us the fire of young Spencer. Kurt Russell could give us the stormy aftermath. But Spencer isn't the only character whose future demands our attention. Let's shift focus to a character whose arc in 1923 was as painful as it was powerful: Tiana Rainwater. Tiana's story of suffering, escape, and resilience left a lasting mark. Her final moments in 1923 gave us a breath of hope, a chance at freedom. But freedom without direction is still a cliffhanger. She was alive, yes, but lost. Her journey hinted at Mexico, maybe California, and now fans are speculating that her bloodline could connect directly to Thomas Rainwater in Yellowstone. It's a theory gaining serious traction, and if it proves true, Tiana's story becomes more than just a subplot. It becomes a cornerstone. Just imagine it: Tiana carving out a life far from the ranch, possibly fighting to reclaim her people's land and legacy, just as the Duttons do for theirs. Two legacies built on pain and power, running parallel and destined to intersect. 1944 could bring these arcs together in a way that's as explosive as it is emotional. And then there's Elizabeth Dutton. Her story is quieter, but no less devastating. When 1923 ended, Elizabeth stood alone, pregnant, grieving, and broken. Jack, the love of her life and the last immediate heir of his line, was gone. His death left her shattered. She planned to return to Boston, far from the chaos of the Yellowstone Ranch. But here's the twist: she's not leaving alone. She's carrying Jack's child. And that child could be the future of the Dutton dynasty. This child, a symbol of hope born from tragedy, may grow up far from the Yellowstone, but the blood running through their veins will never forget its roots. Rumors are already swirling. What if this child, Jack's posthumous heir, returns in 1944 as a bold, determined young adult? What if he comes back to Montana to reclaim what was taken from his father and finds himself in direct conflict with Spencer's own son? Cousins, raised apart, destined to collide. One of the most electrifying fan theories suggests that Elizabeth's son might grow into the kind of character who challenges the Dutton legacy not out of greed, but out of a fierce desire to honor his father's memory. Some even believe the show may culminate in a tragic, violent confrontation between cousins, a Shakespearean clash for control of the Yellowstone land. One Dutton may rise, the other may fall, and the family could be torn apart from within. It's dark, it's emotional, and it's exactly the kind of legacy-driven drama Taylor Sheridan thrives on. But none of this works without the incredible actors who brought these characters to life. Brandon Sklenar, who poured soul and steel into Spencer, has expressed a deep desire to continue that journey. He's hinted at becoming a mentor, a father, a man trying to raise his son John with the same grit and values that carried him through war and love. Just picture it, Spencer teaching his son how to ride, how to shoot, how to survive. That father-son relationship could become the emotional core of 1944, anchoring the chaos with something tender, powerful, and real. Amina Neves and Michelle Randolph, who brought Tiana and Elizabeth to life with raw emotional truth, have also shown interest in returning. Their commitment to these roles means 1944 could follow three deeply personal storylines: Spencer's path as a father and leader, Tiana's rise as a survivor forging a new legacy, and Elizabeth's quiet but powerful journey as a mother guarding the future of the Dutton name. These aren't just side stories. They are the soul of 1944. And now let's address the storm looming over everything: World War III. The series is set at the height of that global conflict, a war that redefined nations, shattered families, and transformed men into ghosts. Spencer Dutton, already scarred from World War II, will no doubt carry the weight of his past. But now it's his son, young John, who may be called into service. Two generations of Duttons, both facing the same war in different forms. The trauma, the fear, the generational echoes, it's all ripe for storytelling that's not just gripping, but deeply human. Because this war won't just be fought on battlefields. It'll be fought in their minds, in their memories, in the quiet moments when fathers and sons try to make peace with the things they've done and the things they'll never forget. It's not just about surviving, it's about deciding what kind of man you become when the war is over. 1944 isn't just the next chapter in the Dutton story, it's the reckoning. The generational test of whether legacy is a gift or a curse. And that's what could make 1944 the most emotionally powerful chapter yet. Not just because of what happens, but because of what it costs. For more weekly updates and analysis on the Yellowstone franchise, make sure to like and follow. Share your thoughts in comment section and subscribe my channel for more 1923 updates. In the meantime, the video on your screen might interest you.